Hey everyone, it's Brent from BC Doves bringing you folks hopefully another watchable video, something worth your time and worth my time to create. Thank you for being with me today. I know it's been a long time since I posted a long form video on here. I have been posting shorts on the channel, but I know it's been a long time. This is going to be a music related video and kind of a bucket list, kind of talking about some pinnacle points in my life in this video. And as always, I got my two window albums up top in the window. First one to properly guess what these two albums are, I'll pin your comment up top in the comments. But I will say, it is good to be back with you folks. There's really no excuse for the long hiatus. I've been steady buying music since I made my last music related video, and I will get to all that eventually. But I felt like I was making too many videos with just random, albums that I was buying that were kind of like not great, just putting it out there to put content out there. And I always said that I wanted to make good content, worthwhile content. And I feel like some of my previous content was kind of watered down, but still no excuse to go 6 months without putting a video up there. But without further ado, I want to talk about what we're going to talk about in this particular video today. Going through life, when we're a kid, there's things that we wanted that we couldn't get because, we were a kid and we didn't have a job. And sometimes we'd ask our parents for those things. And with the wisdom and all the wisdom that they had, they would say no to some things, and some things they would say yes to. But I feel like most of the time in my life, in my personal experience, things that I was really excited about, I really wanted to do or really wanted to have, a lot of times I got told no. We grew up poor, no fault with my parents there, but we grew up poor in South Alabama, and there just wasn't a lot of opportunity, and especially really, especially related to music and going to see live shows and things like that. As a rock fan, there wasn't a lot of that in South Alabama. In order for me to go catch a rock show back then, I would have had to have driven all the way to Florida. I think the closest place maybe was Panama City Beach. And the idea of me being 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and saying, hey, mom, hey, dad, I need $100 to go to a concert down in Panama City Beach without any supervision, that was almost certainly always going to be shot down. And also, even though I was listening to a lot of music and was really enthralled in music, I've talked about this before on my channel, music was therapeutic to me. I would always use it as an escape and really get entrenched into the lyrics and the musical content of what I was listening to. And even though I was listening to a lot of that, I was doing other things at that time. And probably, to be honest, even if some of these of my favorite bands would have came around then, I don't think I would have went to the show. Previously on the channel, there was a bucket list band that I kept talking about all the time, and I really, really wanted to go see, and they reunited, and that was Creed, and they had the Summer of '99 tour, and I was able to go and watch that concert with Three Doors Down. Rest in peace, Brad, from Three Doors Down. Was actually able to see him at one of his last shows. He was with Creed there at the amphitheater, which was a bucket list item for me. This is all in the last 2 years. I was able to go see Metallica at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa with Limp Bizkit, who I've never seen before. Limp Bizkit, take it or leave it, but it's still good to go see Limp Bizkit. And then, tragically after that, their bass player passed away. So was able to see one of his last shows. So I don't know, maybe if it's a bad sign that when I go to a show, I don't know, you might not last very much longer after that, I guess. That's tongue in cheek, but one of my favorite bands of all time is obviously Metallica is my favorite band of all time. But right there, it run neck and neck to that band, and there couldn't be a more stark contrast in music between the two, is Ourladypeace. And I mentioned this band to people around here, like, who? Who's that? Oh, the Superman's Dead song? Yeah, I remember that song. But oh my gosh, you're selling them short. It's so much more, and we're going to get into that today. Matter of fact, this much more, and we're going to get into it. Ourladypeace is one of those bands that I could put on and listen to. It's kind of, Rain Maida. He's always got some pretty relatable lyrics for somebody like me that's been through things that I've been through. And he tells really good stories in his music. And their guitar player, I think his name is John, I want to say, he's one of the best in the business. And just sonically, you can tell when they're writing music, they really care about what they're putting out. And it's not just, filler. A lot of thought goes into their music. And I just really enjoy it. It's not too abrasive that I can play it with anybody around, and it's not too, for rock, I don't want to use the word weak, but it's not too subtle that I don't enjoy it myself. But sonically, those two bands, Metallica, Creed as well, and Ourladypeace, have always done something for me. I think a lot of guitar play is probably a lot of it. Relatable lyrics is probably a big part of it, and songs that I can just sing to. I've got videos from Creed and Metallica and everything on my YouTube page. To get to the point, we're gonna kind of go through a little bit of discography here with Ourladypeace and talk about, this bucket list item that I want to talk about. For anybody that doesn't know, and we're going to go through, I don't have them organized, but we're going to go through them here and kind of go through the history to kind of refresh everyone's memory who may have forgotten or slept on Ourladypeace in the last 20, 30 years. Ourladypeace's first album is Navid. This was their debut album. They were a band for a couple of years before they could come up with this album. They went by another name originally for the first couple of years, and then they landed on Ourladypeace, which I think, if my memory serves me correctly, they had derived from a poem. But this is Navid, just a fantastic debut album from a group of young musicians with songs like Super Satellite, Starseed, and Navid on here. Which are just great songs. But this is Navid, an original copy on CD. You can't see it, but the CD is the same color as the background here. Let me pop it out. Just a killer record and a killer debut album. I want to say 94-ish is when that album came out. And it was one of those records, kind of like Pearl Jam 10, that took a long time to kind of get traction. But once it got traction, the record company said, hey man, we need more of that. And that's when we got their sophomore release, which is Clumsy, which I think most people who generically know who Ourladypeace are would probably recognize this album, or at least songs from this album, maybe not the album itself. But some of the songs that are on here are 4 a.m., Automatic Flower, Superman's Dead, and Clumsy. This album went platinum, as well as did Navid. And they went after that, and they wanted to go a little bigger and grander and kind of get a bigger producer, kind of change their sound up a little bit sonically. And that's when we got their third release, which was Gravity, which is just a killer record. Probably their most commercially recognized record, with songs like One Man Army and Somewhere Out There. As a true fan of the band, great songs in their own right, but I'm more of the deeper tracks that are on this record, like Innocent, Not Enough, Sell My Soul. All these songs are fantastic. If you haven't heard Ourladypeace in a long time, grab this record, man. Get it on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your music, and listen to this album. And then come back and comment down below and let me know what you thought. With the garbage, quote unquote, it's not even quote unquote, with the garbage that's out there today in rock music. If you aren't familiar with this album or these first three releases from Ourladypeace, do yourself a favor and go and listen. And it'll be like new music to you, and it's better than anything on the rock radio today. I can promise you that. But their third release there, Gravity. And then we got I'm sorry, I'm unorganized. I believe this was next. This was Happiness Is Not a Fish That You Can Catch. Another great record in release from Ourladypeace. I'm sorry. Gravity did not have One Man Army on there. Happiness Is Not a Fish That You Can Catch has One Man Army on there. But with songs like Thief, which is fantastic, and Potato Girl, Is Anybody Home? Is anybody wasting tears on loneliness that everyone becomes? Man, just killer music. I'm telling you guys, if you're looking for something fresh, even though it's old, and you want to grab something that just is you're going to enjoy, grab these Ourladypeace records, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love them. And like I said, it's new music to you. Your old heads probably know what I'm talking about, but the younger generation that's being deprived of good rock music, there you go. Next up, we had Healthy and Paranoid Times, which the band, there's a lot of scrutiny from the band about this particular record. I think the record's great. It's not their strongest record, but there are some good songs. One of my favorite Ourladypeace songs that they've ever written is on here, which is Angels Losing Sleep. Love that song. But apparently going into the studio, they had something like 30 songs written for this record, and they had to trim it down to 12. They wanted to make a double album, and the record company wouldn't let them do it, and there was a lot of they were angry at the record company because of that. And you know, maybe one day we can get some of those unreleased songs. But I do want to mention that these two albums right here were produced by Bob Rock. So their sound kind of changed a little bit on these two records and became more commercially acceptable. If you know anything about Ourladypeace and Rain Maida, he's got a real distinct vibrato that he sings with, and Bob Rock wanted to tone that down on this album here, which that's one of the reasons we all fell in love with Rain Maida, was that way in style that he sings, and it was kind of disappeared on Gravity. Then we have another smash hit of theirs, which is Spiritual Machines, which is just another great record. So far, we are 5 albums into the Ourladypeace catalog, and we do not have a single dud album. When I tell you these guys care about the music that they're putting out, and it's consistent and it's good, Ourladypeace, man. Great record. In Repair, it's a great song from this album. I do want to throw this in there. This is a compilation greatest hit CD that I do own, for whatever it's worth. And then we're going to go into, I believe it was Burn, 2015-ish, 2013 maybe. Burn with Paper Moon, and what's the other one on there? All You Did Was Save My Life. It's another great record by Ourladypeace. Burn. There's a little bit of the guys there in the back. Another great record and release from them. Now we're getting on up there in their career at this point, which didn't really change anything. It didn't take any of the edge off of the band. The band's still fantastic. After Burn, we got Curve, which is a killer record. I think 2018 this album came out, with songs like Fire in the Hen House, Heavyweight, Window Seat. Sonically, another just killer record. Ourladypeace, Curve. Then we got Somethingness in 2020 maybe, 2022, something like that. Somethingness, with one of my favorite songs that they have released today. And that's a sign of a good band, is we're well into their 8th or 9th studio album. And one of their best songs that they ever wrote is on this record, in my opinion, which is Drop Me in the Water. And Ballad of a Poet are really great songs. Really dig that album art as well. But this is Somethingness by Ourladypeace, which isn't in here because it's in my CD player. And then last but not least, their last release, well, almost, and we'll get to that in a minute, is Spiritual Machines 2, which I gotta be honest, their weakest effort. Do not like this album very much. I get the album. It's more of a concept record. I think probably more so of something that Rain wanted to do. It's more focused on Rain than it is the rest of the band. It's kind of what I hear when I hear that album. And then I want to get into, I do have a copy of Clumsy on Music on Vinyl, which is a limited edition, printed to only 500 copies. I'm very proud to have this record. It's on black and white marble, if you can see it. Very happy to have this record in my collection, and was the only Ourladypeace album that I owned on vinyl. But we're going to change that. We're going to change that together, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a minute. This is their last release on physical media to date. This is Ourladypeace Collected, and I just got this from eBay. This is all their album arts inside the letters here. This is Ourladypeace Collected. It is a double LP with all what they consider their top hits, and I don't know if this was released by Sony Music. So let me look at something right here real quick. This was released, and this was their album before that, which is Spiritual Machines 2. This was released by BMG. I don't know if Sony owns BMG. I'm looking at the back of this one to see who that was released for. What was Curve? I think Sony does own BMG. But anyway, it's a greatest hits album for the most part. A little backstory about this is this was sold out in a lot of places, and I was able to get this via eBay. This is on black vinyl, and I've opened it up to listen to it. I was listening to it before I made this video. They have this on clear vinyl, which is what I paid for on eBay. Well, this is what they sent me, which is the black vinyl. This was a birthday gift for my wife. I had to wait 2 weeks on it, and it came in. I was so excited. I opened it up, pull out the record, and it was black. And I knew instantly this wasn't the one that I had ordered. The one that I ordered, as I just aforementioned, was clear, which was $10 to $15 more than I can get this album. This one's a lot easier to find. But, I was thinking about it today. I am a vinyl record collector. I'm okay just having this one, I think. So I told my wife, I was like, you know what? Because the guy wanted me to send this one back, and he was going to send me the new one. I hadn't had a chance to listen to this yet. I already waited almost 3 weeks before I got a chance to crack it and listen to it. I wasn't going to wait another 2 or 3 weeks on an album. If I want the clear one, if I start to see where it's going up in value super fast, then I'll snatch it. Also, before we get into the bucket list, I just want to show you guys, your boy is going to get into a little bit of guitar, trying to learn a little bit of guitar. So trying to learn a little bit of guitar. I've been taking videos and tutorials on YouTube. I'm going to sit down and get some guitar lessons. Now, Ourladypeace does not headline North America. If you know anything about Ourladypeace, they are the creme de la creme. They're a Canadian band, and in Canada, they're Canada's Metallica, man. I mean, like, they are the Beatles in Canada. They love them in Canada. So when Ourladypeace headline shows and they're in Canada, they're selling out ice NHL rinks, 50,000 seat venues. And, they got their full stage set up with all their LEDs and everything else. And they're a big deal there. And also in the extreme northern states of the United States as well. But they don't headline North America very much. As a matter of fact, and don't quote me on this, I think 10 or 12 years ago was the last time I headlined anything in North America. Because for whatever reason, even though there's an imaginary border between Canada and America, I mean, not imaginary, there's a real border, but it's not like it's a physical border. The music just isn't translating to the live audience here in America. So I never thought I'd get this chance to see them. I saw them open up for Live in Bush, but that was 35 minutes. They ran through their biggest, hits, and they were the third act of a 3-act night. Although I went to that Live in Bush concert just to see Ourladypeace. It's the first time I ever saw them. That was 2022, I think it was. Well, they announced this last winter, I think in December or January, February, March, April, May, June, July, October, November, December, that the OLP 30th anniversary tour is coming to the United States, and they're going to headline this tour. And they were with the Bird Pipe, which, whatever, the Bird Pipe, very talented band. I had no idea the guy could sing as good as he could sing. And they were coming to Orlando. The moment I saw it, I called my wife, who does anything and everything digitally for me, because I'm a Neanderthal when it comes to that stuff, and asked her to get me tickets. And did she ever? Did she ever? So your boy got 2 tickets to a small venue, held about 1,000 people, maybe 1,100 people, the Plaza Live. You know what? Actually, I don't know how many people was in there. It was probably more than 1,100 people. It was the Plaza Live in Orlando. And anybody from Florida that watches my videos or familiar with Orlando, they may know the Plaza Live. Yeah. And at the end of this video, stay tuned. I'll put some footage from that show there. Man, when I started this, I was talking about bucket list. I got there super early. Was standing in line. I desperately wanted to be small venue, right on the barricade, right at the stage, because it's small. The stage is like a foot behind the barricade, and they're right there. And I knew it was going to be that setup. I went through YouTube and watched some other concerts they had there at the Plaza Live from other bands. And I knew what it was going to be and familiarized myself with the inside of the venue via the internet. So I got there early, or so I thought. And I got in line. It was about an hour or 3 hours before Ourladypeace came on. And the line was already halfway wrapped around the building. I was like, darn it. And it's all general admission. And this is a bucket list thing for me, man. I've been waiting my entire life to see this band play their full set, and I just wanted to be as close as I possibly could. And as I'm standing in line, there's a guy that works for the Plaza Live that's saying anybody else bought VIP tickets. And I looked and I didn't even see where they had offered any VIP tickets. Like, there's nowhere I could find where I could buy VIP tickets, unless it was directly from the Plaza Live. I'm not sure, but nowhere that I could find. And what VIP did, there was 2 different packages. One was a meet and greet with the band, which is fine. I don't need to pay, $600 or $700 to meet and greet with the band. And the other one was to get in early, an hour early before anybody else. And the guy was walking by me, and I was like, I'll buy one right now. He's like, oh, that's not how it works. The crazy part is, when they started letting people into the show, he still had probably 50 of those lanyards for VIPs that he didn't even sell. And I bet if the guys from Ourladypeace knew that, and they knew that they had a super fan out there willing to drop whatever, $300 or $400 on a VIP ticket to get in there early so they could be against the gate, and he just wouldn't sell them one, I bet they would be pretty mad about that, because that's dipping into their pockets. And, I'm going to reach back out to the Plaza Live and ask about that, see kind of what was up with that, because I would have bought one right there on the spot. But I digress. You'll see from my footage how close I was to the stage. So what happened was, as soon as they opened doors, I ran in there, and I ended up being there's the gate, the guard rail, and then there's a row of people there, and I was kind of wedged in between the first row, in the second row of people, and I was in between the second row and the third row. I kind of made my own row, so to speak. The point is I was, for me, to this back wall from Rain and John and the guys from Ourladypeace the whole time. I was just going off the whole time. Rain had stopped showing. He's like, man, you guys are hyped. This is going to be a long, loud rock and roll concert. So if you were at that Ourladypeace show at the Plaza Live Band, thank you for bringing it. Because hopefully we gave them enough energy that they want to come back and play another show there. If they don't play anywhere else, but at least at the Plaza Live in Orlando, because it was electric in there. I mean, electric. You could tell that everybody that was in there was legitimate, true, hardcore Ourladypeace fans, and they all had been waiting for decades for them to tour and to play a full set, their own set. We had been jonesing for it forever. And dude, when he would stop and kind of put his microphone out in the crowd, you know, bands have these songs with sing-along songs, whatever, and Ourladypeace got 3 or 4 of them. The entire crowd never missed a note because they were all singing them out loud the entire show anyway, while the band was playing on stage, while Rain was singing, we were singing. So when he would stop, dude, he would just stop and be like, and we'd be right on cue with every song he did that on. It was great. It was such a euphoric moment for me. This is the official show t-shirt. The official. You got the dates on the back. You can see it. But yeah, it's the official one that I got from there. Not, you know, sometimes you go to concerts and they have their official tour shirt. And those that sell out, then I have like some aftermarket ones there from another vendor. Well, they had those, but I was able to get an official one before it sold out. Actually, what I did, I went with my brother-in-law, and as soon as I got my spot in line, I said, hey man, here's my wallet. Go out there and get me a shirt. I'm not moving. And that's what he did. You'll see from the concert footage that I'm going to play, and it's going to be one of their more generic songs. How great the atmosphere was. There's a point in the video where I'll pan back and you can see the crowd. It's just fantastic. I didn't take a lot of video. I do not take a lot of video at concerts that I go to for 2 reasons. One, I'm there to enjoy the concert, not worry about if I'm capturing quality video. And 2, if I was performing on stage, and especially if I'm in a smaller venue and I got the crowd right up on me, I don't want a bunch of cameras in my face. Because if you're not enjoying it, and you're just there for content, you're going to put it on. Why not? Well, if I'm the band, why not I just play and just remote it to everybody, you know? So I don't want to do that to my artists, and I also don't want to have to worry about taking the video. They played every single, an hour and 50 minutes, Ourladypeace played. 1 hour and 50 minutes. They played every single song that I wanted them to play. Everyone. Has anybody ever, comment down below, have you ever been to a concert where a band's got a huge, and let me, just a massive discography like Ourladypeace does, and what's that, 10 albums, 9 albums, and you're a true fan and you're hoping, you know, you're going to hear the radio hits and everything, but you're hoping they play the deep tracks that you love the most. And they did, and it just made that experience so much better. Well, that's what happened to me. So I'm there at the Ourladypeace show, and I'm just like, man, they got to play their new one, Sound the Alarm, please. I hope they play that, and I hope they play Drop Me in the Water, and all these other songs, and they played them all. The only, they did play a Pearl Jam cover, which is Hell Hell, and they did a tribute to Brad from 3 Doors Down. Away from the Sun is the song they played, which was fantastic. They did a great job of that, and kudos to Ourladypeace for doing that in honor of Brad from 3 Doors Down. I would have liked to have seen them replace the Pearl Jam Hell Hell cover with Angels Losing Sleep, but you know what? Hey man, I can't complain. I got an hour and 50 minutes of Ourladypeace concert footage, and it was fantastic. Comment down below if you were at that concert in Orlando. Anyway, that's it for me for now. I will be bringing more content. I'm going to try to post a long form video once or twice a week. Probably not twice, but once a week with new music that I bought. We got a lot of it. Just looking over here, some albums I haven't showed you guys yet. I was able to pick up, a couple of records that I really want to go over with you guys. But man, it's great to be back on here. I hope you enjoy the footage from the show, and we'll see you on the next one.
I'm waiting for the sky to fall. Waiting for